Hi, KOG here. I'll be reacting to The Rise of Bangtan, Chapter 3, House of Cards. Now, not only the name of this episode, it says mental health and suicide. I don't think this is gonna be it's gonna be pretty serious episode. Here we go.
대박! 대박! 2013년 8월 25일 웨브스타일 로그 아따 톤 한 단계 업그레이드 됐고 안경을 처음으로 벗고 로그를 찍는다. 이야 신기하네. 아무튼 나는 여태 방금 전까지 이제 앨범 작업이 드디어 끝났어. 랩몬스터라는 이름을 정말 바보가 지은 게 아니라는 걸 증명해드리고 싶다. 오케이? 좋아. 우후! 와이! 예!
It's pretty darn happy then. Oh, this one.
Everybody say no. Everybody say no. Everybody say no.
안녕하세요. VJ 방탄특공대 MC 진입니다. 2013년 가요계에 혜성같이 등장한 방탄소년단. 훈훈한 외모와 넘치는 카리스마로 많은 분들의 사랑을 받았는데요. 함께 보실까요? 출근길 좋네.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 출근 소감을 얘기해 주실래요?
안녕하세요. 네.
랩몬스터 씨 오늘 처음이시라고요?
계속 연습했습니다.
Return to the classics.
네, 아무래도 떨려가지고 긴장도 떨려서 연습했어요.
저희가 이번에 5Are You Late To라는 앨범으로 저희가 또 타이틀곡 에노라는 노래로 컴백을 했는데요. 컴백을 했습니다. 저희 에노 한번 들어보시고 죄송합니다. 다시 할게요.
오늘 정말 쟁쟁하신 분들이 많이 계셔서
엄청 많이.
굉장히 긴장이 됩니다. 오늘 대기실에 딱 갔는데
통통 비었어요.
신인 대기실 통통 비었더라고요.
오늘 그렇게 되더라고요.
그렇죠. 저희도 언젠가
Oh, there's the huge the name cards. Yeah, I guess this time they didn't make them a shirt. The reason they have that is, I mean, I didn't know before. I think a long time ago, somebody, I saw it somewhere that it's for like camera personnel. You know, like when they're taking the picture, they need to know like which time who comes up. You know, so each cameraman have to figure out like who is who in order for to get the job done, you know, the way that they wanted it done. So that's why they have that name card.
자, 리허설 3, 2.
솔직히 매우 긴장된다. 첫 번째 앨범 때보다 더 멋있는 모습을 보여드려야 된다고 생각되기도 하니까 되게 좀 약간은 부담감이 있기도 한 것 같고 조금 더 준비를 하고 나가고 싶다는 생각도 조금 있고
네, 목이 타면서 땀났고요. 잠시 후에 녹화드립니다.
둘, 셋, 팍! 자, 감사합니다. 열심히 하겠습니다.
오늘부터 보니까 어때요? 잘 된 것 같아요?
지금 제 표정이 너무 안 좋게 나요. 좀더 표정에 신경 쓰겠습니다.
어떻게요? 더 파워풀하게?
거침없이 실제하는 소년들 방탄소년단입니다. 에노
힙합 아이돌 방탄소년단이 더 강력해진 모습으로 돌아왔습니다. 강렬한 퍼포먼스와 보다 강력해진 카리스마로 돌아온 기대주 방탄소년단 여러분들 모셨습니다. 데뷔한 지 4개월 만에 정말 엄청나게 팬덤이 생겼어요.
NO is kind of an abbreviation of no offense. 과연 사람들에게 행복한가? 더 듣기 전에 행복을 찾아라. 이렇게 묻고 있는 그런 앨범이고요.
In Korea, the university you attend is regarded by the society as one of the most important factors for determining your success in life. The
Asian
College
boss.
Scholastic Ability Test, also called 수능, is the test that dictates which university students would attend. Students literally spend their whole lives preparing for this test.
저 때도 그랬고 지금도 그렇고 우리 학생들은 공부밖에 할 줄 몰라요.
These students study hard. On average, they'll do 15 hours a day.
Yeah, at
When
least.
school ends at 4 o'clock, it's not time to go home. The next shift starts, and most will go on to cram schools. For those who don't succeed, there's a tragic cost.
South Korea has exceptionally high suicide rate. Suicide is the fourth most common cause of death in South Korea. In the age range of 10 to 19 years old, South Korea has the highest suicide rate in the world.
Mental health is a joke here in Korea.
There's a lack of counseling for kids in South Korea. Tragically, some see suicide as the only option.
어른들은 내게 말하지 힘든 건 지금뿐이라고 참으라고 나중에 하라고 Everybody say no 더는 나중이란 말은 안돼 더는 남의 꿈에 갇혀 살지만 Everybody say no 정말 지금이라면 안돼 아직 아무것도 해본 게 없잖아 Everybody say no
한국은 주변 사람들이 열심히 하니까 자기도 옆에 사람만큼 열심히 해야겠다 이런 생각이 많이 드는 것 같아요.
친구들한테는 괜찮다, 이겨낼 수 있다고 하는데 미치겠습니다. 돌아버릴 것 같아요.
솔직히 말해서 저는 사실일까? 허상은 아닐까? 우리가 허상을 만들어 놓고 그냥 거기에 달라드는 거 아닐까?
Everybody say no
오늘 축하할 일이 한 가지 더 있습니다, 여러분. 자, 무엇일까요?
제 생일입니다.
생일 축하합니다.
생일 축하합니다. 사랑하는 내 모녀 생일 축하합니다. 무릎 꿇으세요. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 저희 소원은 신인상을 꼭 탔으면 좋겠습니다. 신인상 꼭 탔으면 좋겠고요. 홍보 좀 해주세요. 드디어 첫 선언을 했어요.
컴백. 저희가 컴백으로 돌아왔죠.
이제 이제 컴백을 했는데 뭔가 요번 앨범에서 정말 더 한번 빵 터뜨려서
그렇죠.
이제 본격적으로 방탄소년단을 알릴 수 있었으면 참 좋겠다.
그렇다.
긴장을 너무 많이 해서 조금 실수를 했었다.
조금 아니다. 귀가 많이 틀렸다.
아니다.
이제 좀 이렇게 혼났었는데 되게 그래 좀 두려웠지.
그래도 사원 녹화 때는 정말 팬분들
그치. 우리 엄청난 아미분들
정말 대단한 것 같다.
엄청난 아미분들이 많은 응원을 해주셔서 정말
일단 음원도 안 나왔는데
음원도 공개가 안 됐는데
사원 녹화를 할 때 갑자기
Everybody say no 하는데 다
노를 외치니까
노를 외치니까 신기했어. 열심히 합시다.
그렇습니다.
열심히 하겠다. 그래 제이오
B의
로그
끝.
September
자
21st.
여러분 9월 20일이 무슨 날인지 아시나요?
추석입니다.
추석인가요? 네 추석이라 추석인가요? 추석이죠. 추석이니까 뭐 추석 연휴기도 하고요.
Well, Chuseok is like a Thanksgiving in Korea. Most agricultural society, they usually have those, days. It's like a harvest fest. I think that would be the best way to put it.
연휴예요?
네 9월 20일.
제 생일 후 정확히 8일이 지났죠.
그렇죠.
100일?
에이 설마
정말 어색한 리액션 정말 감사하고.
죄송합니다.
저희 방탄소년단이 데뷔한 지 100일이 된 날이죠.
야! 100일! 와우!
제가 저희가 이제 데뷔한 지 정확하게 100일이 됐는데요.
네.
정말 그 100일 동안 항상 옆에서 함께 해주신 아미 분들이 있어서 저희가 존재하는 게 아닌가.
그렇죠.
너무너무 감사드리고요. 앞으로 100일
Actually, the 100th day has a very important meaning in Korea. It's actually in a way more important than 1-year-old, if that makes any sense. Because a long time ago in Korea, bad nutrition and just health issues all around throughout the history. Very few survived. After birth, there were a lot of death among babies. So they didn't even give babies names until later on, at least until they get to Dol, which means 100th day. So because they say so many babies died before they survived that 100th day, it was like, now you're really, really born type of a deal. I shouldn't smile or laugh. It's really sad, but that's just how it was. So in Korean society, you don't have a huge birthday party for, like, for example, for 1-year-old, but there's something called 돌잔치, which is like a 100th day party where you bring in all your like relatives, friends, and have like a big feast type of a deal. Again, this was to introduce that you have a child that most likely will survive, which is messed up, isn't it? 100th day. So that's the meaning of 100th day.
100일, 1000일, 만일, 10만일 동안
10만일
함께해요!
하지만 방탄소년단이 진격한다면 어떨까?
actually, BTS, they made a headway pretty quickly compared to a lot of teams, because certain teams, they just don't get traction at all. But compared to that, BTS, I mean, they're fresh enough that I remember like seeing their first music video, and afterwards, I mean, yeah, all the songs were pretty good, darn good too. So it was a departure from other, they were just different, little fresh.
그렇다 지금부터 소리 질러 우리가 누구 우리가 누구 겁없이 집어삼킨다 우리가 fire 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 하나 둘셋 우리가 누구 진격의 방탄 Turn up
I heard that they couldn't get into many of the TV shows, so they made their own. I think that's what Run BTS is, something like that.
찍으시면 안 되는데? 찍으시면 안 돼. 솔직히 름몬 형보다 춤 못 춘 거 아니야?
최근에 정말 그 생각을 많이 하는데 사람이 왜 사고가 다칠까요?
하고 싶은 게 뭐예요?
네?
하고 싶은 게 뭐예요?
저는 언더그라운드와 메이저의 가교가 되고 싶다고 이야기를 했어요. 그 이유가 저도 대구에서 음악을 할 때 굉장히 힘들었었고 매일 저녁 굶고 장기 하나 살라고 다 그래요. 그걸 바꾸고 싶었어요. 그걸 바꾸고 싶었다. 뭘로? 제가 가교가 되어서
본인이 아이돌 돼가지고 그걸 바꿀 수 있다고 생각했어요?
The way we refer to stars singing on the stage or dancing on the stage in Korean is that we don't call them stars or artists. The common way we call them are idols. And we actually expect them to be this perfect idol that's always smiling, always very perfect, and don't have any mistakes in their personalities, or they always look pretty even without any makeup on. We expect someone to be like spotless.
우리나라 아이돌들 너무 잘하는데.
I don't know what it is about not just that reporter, but English-speaking Koreans, when they explain about Korean culture, I don't know. I guess I have lost much faith in the this sort of media, so-called. Perhaps that's what it is, but it is not just idols, which I also detest, which I believe is one of the weirdest thing about Koreans that I cannot personally understand that well. It's not. It doesn't matter if you're an artist. If it doesn't matter if you're a singer or any kind of entertainment business where you are making money from public. Koreans feel that they are public figure. Now, I've argued with Koreans quite a bit on this subject. I said public figure should be people like politicians, like I don't know, journalists, or the people who represent the public. Like I thought singer should sing really well. Artist should be really good at his artistry. How can he be a perfect man or person. So he can't drink, he can't do this, he can't do that. And this is not just for idols. I mean, for whatever reason, they make it sound like idols are this perfect thing, and no, it's for every entertainer, actors, actresses. Um, yeah, and which I still do not understand why. How the Koreans put it is, since they make money, they make living from the public for showing their face or showing themselves. That's how they make money. They're public figures and they should act accordingly, so called. And they put such impossible standards for them. I'm sorry, but Koreans get drunk. I mean, normal people, you know, they make mistakes, they go to clubs, they make mistakes. I mean, it just happens to everybody. But if it happens to these entertainment figures, they say, "Ooh, what the hell?" It's like, and how can they do that? And they should never be allowed to come on TV. I mean, even horrific things. I mean, something as easy to judge as, let's say, drinking and driving. Now, it's a terrible thing. You might kill somebody. You should never do it. But let's say somebody did it. Let's say some executive in a company, or some, I don't know, blue collar worker, or just pick any occupation. Do they get kicked out? No. But because they are so-called, they should be the pillar of society. Pillar of society should be those idiot politicians and people like that, who are supposed to uphold the law and represent people. And these are just artists. They should have a little more leeway, because a lot of times they're still young and they make mistakes. And I'm sorry to say, but there's a lot of great things about youth. But one negative is they do make a lot of mistakes. So have I, and I'm sure most people did in their youth. And you know what? They can end their career. And some of the things that has happened before, it was just ridiculous. Like, AOMG did Park Jae-bom, he says something about it, to the effect that how Korean people are, I mean, the Korean industry was whack or something. And yeah, something derogatory. But like, he just came to Korea and he was like, I don't know, 15, 16 or something. I mean, he was really young. He was, he was beginning training, and it was something he texted with his friend or something. I don't know, something like that, long, long time ago. And, maybe he grew up, or, he just learned the difference in culture. I don't know whatever happened. But anyway, I just didn't like that, I know that, they're trying to make it sound like these idols. Because, for example, we love BTS. So we would like to highlight how great they are, and they are. But like in everything else, it's just, it's like they're not the only one. I did not talk much because I had so much back and forth with the viewers, some certain viewers here, about like a Korean education system, But if I may interject, the thing is, it's not just idols who have it hard. Those students don't sleep either. So, trainee, like I said before, don't feel that, that life isn't that hard, because so is everyone else's life. And yes, Korea has the worst suicide rate, I think, in the OECD countries or something. It's just the worst. And And I think I have explained, like in the last show, why it is so. It's just people are so driven. The parents are driven. You know, you heard about like tiger moms in the States and other. Just think about a nation of tiger moms and dads and uncles. And the pressure is so darn hard. And believe it or not, people who live here, they understand that it's a problem and they're trying pretty hard. For example, you know, like hagwons, the classes afterwards, they used to, they banned it. They made it illegal to take those, you know, classes afterwards. Uh, so only the rich kids got like private lessons on their like they would they would literally study in their car. Like the driver, the rich kid's driver would be driving, and he would be in there, and this a tutor would sit beside him and teach him how to take tests. and and normal kids couldn't get any help because it was illegal for longest time. And they tried everything, but what happened was only the rich kids got the upper hand, and they get to go to all the good schools. And it just when the desire is there, and if people are willing to sacrifice themselves to get it, it's a mess. But I would like to add that it's getting so much better. It really is.
노래를 못한다. 노래 잘하고요. 춤 세계에서 제일 잘 춘다고요. 근데 심지어 노래 잘하고 춤 잘 추는데 얼굴까지 예쁘고 몸매도 좋은데 연기도 되는 친구가 한 팀에 5명이면 5명이 다 그래.
아이돌이 무슨 뜻이에요?
우상이죠. 제가 아이돌은 사전적으로 우상인데 아이돌이라는 것은 우리나라에서는 이제 음악적인 것뿐만 아니라 산업적으로도 굉장히 복합적인 개념이잖아요. 그래서 어떤 사람들은 아이돌이라는 이 존재들이 힙합과 어떻게 어울릴 수 있냐. 힙합은 사실 또 어떻게 보면 좀 남성적이고 마초성이 좀 있는 문화이기도 하고 방탄소년단이 무대에 올라갔을 때 이제 분장을 한다, 또 메이크업을 하는 거에 대한 어떤 힙합과 충돌되는 부분이 있을 것 같은데
그런 게 아니라 여자 입고 다니는 게 여자냐
뭐 사실 그렇게 느끼신다면 뭐 그렇게 느끼실 수도 있을 것 같아요.
Those losers are gone from any scene. I mean, the guy who called them girls, I remember he said he apologized much later, but he really didn't. He was being kind of sarcastic a little bit. I remember checking it out because I just hated the dude. But you know what? They're just all losers, man. Just look at people like Tiger JK. Did they ever make fun of them? No. The real OGs. I mean, they respected and they work with not only BTS, but other idols and other, you know, talented young people. You know, they didn't label them as such, you know? I think even in the last one, Tiger JK was talking about how putting the makeup and being like a rock star, it's like a new age rock star of a new generation. It's like that, man. It just those stupid ass, excuse my language, but just those certain losers. They think they wear their clothes in a certain way, and I'm sorry, but acting, you know, black or whatever, you know, just they were never in it. But they think there's hip hop culture, you know. I remember they're so full of it. I remember somebody said, like, I was listening to rap and, you know, hip hop, and somebody's like, oh, the old guy's trying to, you know. And I was like, dude, I grew up like 30 minutes from Compton, man. It started around where I lived, where I grew up, you know, like Tupac, Biggie, whatever. Those guys were my age. What are you guys talking about? They think they're so cool, but if I listen to it, then I'm like a wannabe. And they're just I don't know. It's just that hip hop was music of people who are, you know, disfranchised, and you know, a lot of anger, whatever. That's all fine, but they just got the anger part, and for whatever reason, they feel like they're they're the ones who are, you know, they never went through those, you know, racial issues or the projects or whatever. They never even seen it. Never seen a gun. Oh, well, unless they went to army. Anyway, it pissed me off.
띵동. 손 왔습니다. 내 바지에. 띵동. 정신 기다렸습니다. 띵동. 알람했어요? 편지 왔습니다. 아웃터 이런 거 얼마? 신발도. 신발.
Oh, they're all passed out.
띵동. 지금 편지 왔습니다.
아, 감사합니다.
네. 네, 제 편지를 읽어볼까요?
최근에 편지를 많이 읽으면서 느낀 건데, 편지에 항상 고맙고 미안하다는 말을 써주시는 분들이 많이 계신데, 저도 그런 편지를 읽을 때마다 굉장히 가슴 뭉클해지고 고맙고 또 저도 미안해집니다. 감사합니다.
정말 내가 아티스트인지 아이돌인지 헷갈릴 때가 많다. 나 스스로는 아이돌의 형태를 띈 아티스트라고 생각을 많이 했었는데, 사람들의 인식은 제각기 다른 거니까. 그리고 내가 앞으로 보여줄 아티스트적인 면모가 더 많다고 생각을 하고, 정말 산 넘어 산이라는 말이 딱 맞는 게, 정말 데뷔하면 모든 게 다 잘 되고 뭔가 괜찮을 것 같았는데, 정말 또 더 큰 세상을 보니까 더 큰 고민을 하게 되고, 복잡하고 정말 혼란스럽지만 이런 마음들을 좀 음악에 담아낼 수 있어야 그게 내 몫이라고 생각한다. 그걸 음악에 녹여내고 더 승화시켜서 더 진정성 있고 더 좋은 음악을 들려드리고 싶은 마음이다. 아무튼 요즘 그래도 열심히 잘 하고 있으니까 랩몬스터 누나들이 힘냈으면 좋겠다. 잘하고 있다고 믿을 것이고 잘 해낼 것이다.
Only because you're not an idol does not make you an artist. I'm sure I did. I'm sure you guys did too. There are tons and tons of solo artists, well, soloists, who shouldn't be called artists. I mean, you know, you gotta reach certain level to be called an artist. But anyway, it has nothing to do with what kind of music you do or, you know.
너무 많이 생각하지 말자. 알지?
그러시면 안 돼요.
그대로 안 해야 돼요? 그대로 읽을 겁니다. 그대로.
저 조명도 살짝 어둡게. 네.
이거 뭐지? 인간극장 아닌데요?
사실 정말 믿기지가 않습니다. 춤이 너무 좋아 공부도 안 하고 새벽에 매일 나가 새벽 연습하고 고생한 끝에 서울로 올라갈 땐 그래도 그 누구보다 좋아하셨던 부모님, 전 아버지의 그 웃음이.
여러분은 모르시겠지만 연습생 때는 정말로 데뷔를 할 수 있을지도 몰랐습니다. 정말로 울기도 하고 지치기도 하면서 포기하고 싶다는 생각을 많이 했었습니다.
사실 예전은 즐겁다고 생각한 적은 많이 없었던 것 같아요.
그리고 지금까지 열심히 활동하면 되게 작지만 되게 큰 목표가 하나 생겼습니다.
정말 제 목소리로 여러분들의 마음을 감동시킬 수 있는 그런 가수가 되고 싶고 또 정말 떳떳하게 자랑스럽게 부끄럽지 않게 나는 방탄소년단의 팬이다 라고 말할 수 있도록 정말 멋진 가수가 되겠다고 다짐했습니다. 참 이렇게 고마운 존재인데 저희에게 되려 미안하다고 할 때는 저는 마음이 참 아픕니다. 우리 서로 고마워하는 사이가 되었으면 좋겠어요.
저는 여러분을 실망시키는 일이 세상에서 가장 두렵습니다. 항상 말해왔듯이 여러분이 없으면 저도 없으니까요. 아미들, 내가 꿈을 이루면 나는 또 누군가의 꿈이 된다고 합니다. 여러분 모두의 꿈이고 싶어요. 그게 저의 역할인 것 같습니다. 아직
Oh man. The RM said exactly the thing I wanted to say. You know, yeah, the all the terrible Korean history and all the pressure and all the kids, the pressure and work but you know what? These people like BTS, how well they're doing, not only worldwide. People like Faker who play video games, but who's world famous. There are YouTubers. There's so much more, and Korea is people are acknowledging that going to the best school isn't the only way anymore. There are other ways, and unlike before, just because you went to the best school doesn't guarantee your success. In Korea anymore, not as much as before. So the balance is breaking. Before, it was just pretty much impossible to become anybody of significance or respect unless you went to certain schools and you become certain things. But these guys making the effort and changing the world is changing Korea. And like RM said, because these people became a dream, not just to become an idol, but the young kids, they can do things, say what's in their mind, and actually achieve greatness. Of course, again, it takes a lot of sacrifice of yourself.
모르는 게 많고 서툴고 어벙대지만 점점 나아지는 모습으로 아미 여러분들이 자랑스러워하는 방탄소년단이 되고 싶습니다.
바쁜 스케줄 덕분에 몸은 지쳐도 저희를 응원해주시는 아미분들을 만날 때마다 힘이 됩니다.
아미 여러분들을 만나고 항상 웃고 긍정적인 사람으로 바뀌게 된 것 같아 고마운 마음을 전달하고 싶네요.
아미 여러분, 언제나 저희 옆에 성장하는 모습을 지켜봐 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
늘 사랑합니다, 고맙습니다라고 표현을 하려고는 하는데 그게 굉장히 어렵습니다. 사랑합니다.
제가 이런 여기 있으면서 제가 정말 어떤 사람인지 또 어떤 사람이 되어야 하는지 정말 많이 깨닫는 것 같고요. 항상 저희한테 고마운 존재입니다. 또 진짜 더 열심히 할게요. 정말 감사합니다. 저희는 지금까지 방탄소년단이었습니다. 둘, 셋! 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
나가기 싫다.
발대기가 많이 무겁네요.
나가기 싫다.
2014년 12월 4일
Look at how small the venue is, God.
진행일지 오늘은 내 생일이다. 새로운 가족들, 우리 방탄이들과 생일을 보냈는데 와, 이 먹거들 어떻게 연습실에 딱 들어오자마자 케이크로 생일 축하한다고 이렇게 케이크를 묻혀대더니
생일 축하드려요. 감사합니다.
우리 팬분들이 많은 편지와 또 메시지들을 보내주셨는데 정말 이렇게 많이 사랑받아도 될까 싶을 정도로 많이 축하해 주시고 또 태어나줘서 고맙다는 말을 많이 해주셨는데 그냥 감사합니다. 꼭 정말 더 많이 노력을 해서 절대로 실망시키지 않는 맏형, 방탄의 맏형 진이 될 테니까 더 지켜봐 주셨으면 좋겠다.
네, 정말 뜨거운 함성으로 가득 찬 2013 멜론 뮤직 어워드 함께하고 있습니다.
네, 정말 2013년이 저렇게 뜨거웠구나라는 것을 다시 한번 느껴볼 수 있었고요. 지금 말씀드리는 순간 벤에서
Ooh,
방탄소년단인가요?
RM looking good.
네, 2013 데뷔한 아주 핫한 신인이죠. 정말 패기 넘치는 모습으로 레드카펫을 걷고 있습니다.
자, 방탄소년단은 올해 데뷔를 하면서 정말 인기보다는 실력으로 승부를 하면서 다양한 이슈를 나왔는데요. 자, 그리고 방탄소년단이 팀워크가 얼마나 좋은지 알 수 있냐면요. 지금 7명이 쫙 섰는데 키가 다 똑같아요. 네.
당연히 못 봤죠.
야, 우리 당연히 못 봤냐? 참가상 모르냐, 참가상?
참가상.
야, 떨려요.
아, 진짜요?
우리 밖에서 멘붕일 것 같아.
우리 하기 전에 있다고?
밖에 된 멘붕. 모르겠네요. 과연. 진짜 받으면 울 것 같아요.
(2013) 멜론 뮤직 어워드 신인상 방탄소년단 축하드립니다.
방탄소년단.
방탄소년단
Yeah.
우리 아미분들!
남이 정말 너무너무 감사드리고요. 더 좋은 음악, 더 좋은 무대로 앞으로 더 찾아뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
부모님 사랑한다.
VJ 방탄 특공대와 함께한 저희의 이야기 어떠셨나요? 방탄소년단의 새로운 변신 앞으로 더 많이 지켜봐 주시길 바라고 저희 VJ 방탄 특공대 여기서 인사드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.
학교 갑니다. 입학식 하러 갑니다.
Oh, that's so cute.
랩 가사 그것도 가사야. 증명하겠습니다.
Reflection.
야, 우린 방탄소년단 힙합하려고 모였다. 남다른 목소리로 대중들의 귀를 녹여마. We sweet like a syrup. 거짓말들은 싫어 진짜 우리 얘기들로만 가사에 꽉꽉 실어. 랩 몬스터 가진 전국제 요피지면 한국 여자들은 우리 때문에 가기 싫어질 걸 이미. 그리고 여기서 랩하고 있어. 이리
제리가 방탄소년단 몸으로 표현해주세요.
누나 좋아하지?
일단 매력 너무 넘쳐
19살 귀염둥이 보컬.
내려놔.
What? They put it something in there, I guess. Really hot or salty or.
서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 마라카노 마라카노 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와볼다고 전화랑께 우리 멋져보라 허벌나게.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I think I maybe I talk maybe again too much in the middle. Um, certain Korean culture is odd to me too, and it's difficult for me to. I understand it, but it's difficult to accept. Um, yeah. What they said was true. You know, the all the suicide rate and how hard kids try, but what is really sad is that it's not just the kids. You guys should look up the suicide rate for working men and probably women. Um, there is there there are so many people who die from overwork, literally overwork in Korea, and it's a thing. You know, um, 과로사, you know, just die from being tired, from just working too much. Um, if you have that kind of death, of course there are suicides and yeah, yeah. Just I think I don't need to go in too much into depth about that. It's just that the Korea has been through quite a bit, and just its willingness to sacrifice themselves for their family or the future of their children or future of myself themselves. And that part about and you know what? It's not a right good thing. I mean, you know, you can't expect like 15, 13, 16 year olds to, you know, sacrifice yourself so that you'll be better. I mean, that's what they tell parents tell the kids, but anyway, but kids themselves feel because you grow when you grow up in certain environment, you know, it's like uh you know, land of the cyclops. I mean, if everybody has one eye, having two eyes, you're weird. When everybody is expected to perform or, you know, have certain work ethic, if you don't have it, you are the weird one, not everyone else. So I hope you guys can understand well, how it is in Korea. And if I could add just one thing to this, I personally don't like it too much when, I mean, I know it's wrong and I don't mind people like pointing fingers at it because, you know, people shouldn't be taking their lives, period. It's a terrible thing. And, but I hope people would understand that Koreans as people have been trying really hard to somehow fix this educational problem. Like I said, you know, they banned it. I mean, they literally tried everything. They made it so that the test was easier. I mean, but it just didn't work. But it is. I think. I hope you guys can understand that it's just never one sided. Um, you know, pointing it out is easy, but finding solution is always very difficult. Uh, and it when it is very difficult to solve this problem. Like if 10,000 people, if everybody wants the same thing, and there's only just few seats, uh, what are you gonna do? You're gonna tell people, but they're willing to like go crazy hard to get it. It's really hard to fix that problem. And uh, I just want you to guys to remember the Koreans' willingness to sacrifice themselves for betterment of themselves or for their family or for the future is is a sad. I think it's just sad, but in some way, a little. I hope there's a sliver of appreciation for that because Korea is the only um, country in the world which got the advanced, you know, country status, which did not resort to like imperialism. You know, it's sad that they had to sacrifice themselves to get this far. But I think it's better than doing it on someone else's backs. Ooh. And, you know, it's just history, you know. I hope you guys don't get it in the wrong way. You know, I'm not trying to put down any country or whatever in certain way. It's just that, you know, it was a normal thing in the past, you know, the strong taking over the weak. It was a normal thing, and that's fine. But I think it's something has to give. I think that's what I really want people to understand. You know, you need that fuel. You know. Anyway, thank you very much, and this was. I thought this was gonna be a fun series, but it's getting more and more serious. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.